How long does it take to sell a condo apartment in Brampton? Right now, it can feel like it takes an entire year. Seriously. Now, that might sound like a bit of an exaggeration, but the data we are seeing points to a market that is, for the sellers, fundamentally broken. The latest numbers show that for all property types in Brampton, there are over 6 months of inventory just sitting there, which firmly puts buyers in the driver's seat. But when you zoom in on the condo apartment market, the situation is so much worse. In this video, I'm going to break down the shocking numbers that reveal a full-blown inventory crisis. We will look at why it's taking so long to sell, with the time condos spent on the market jumping by over 40% in the last year alone. And most importantly, I will reveal the top 3 reasons buyers are actively saying no to these properties and what they're buying instead. Properties that can help them pay for the mortgage, not just drain their bank account with fees. Stick around, because if you're even thinking about buying or selling a condo in Brampton, you absolutely need to hear this. Alright, let's get right into the hard data, because the numbers tell a story of a market segment in steep decline. While the entire Brampton housing market has definitely cooled off, the condo apartment market sector has been hit really hard. This is a massive imbalance between supply and demand. Last year, the number of condo apartment sales dropped by a whopping 23%. While that was happening, the number of new listings, sellers trying to get out, jumped by 12%. That creates a 35-point swing, flooding the market with units that just aren't selling. More sellers are trying to get out, while few buyers are trying to jump back in. It's the perfect storm for a price collapse, and a collapse is pretty much what we have seen. The year-to-date median price for a Brampton condo has dropped by roughly $65,000. That's a 12.3% loss of value in just 1 year. To put that in real terms, someone who bought a typical condo for $535,000 saw its value fall to around $470,000. That's like losing $5,400 every single month. One-bedroom condos got hit even harder, losing 13% of their value. Now compare that to the rest of the market. Sure, almost every property took a hit, but none were smashed as badly as condos. Detached homes fell, but not by much. Even in the city of Toronto, the heart of the GTA, condo prices saw a modest decrease, closer to 4%, which is nothing compared to the double digits freefall in Brampton. This brings us to the timeline officially. The average days on the market for a Brampton condo has swelled over to 52 days. But the days on market doesn't tell the full story. That number resets every time a listing is cancelled and relisted, often at a lower price to look new. It doesn't count the weeks or months a seller struggled before giving up and trying again with a new agent and a new price to make it look new. When you factor in all those failed attempts, the actual time from the day to the closing day, it can easily stretch for many months. So for a lot of the sellers, the feeling that it takes a year to sell is not an exaggeration. It's their reality. Currently, there are 189 condo apartments for sale, and in December 2025, there were only 16 sold. If no new condos get listed for sale, it would take a year to sell all of these condos at this rate. So where is the flood of inventory even coming from? A huge part of the problem goes back to the pre-construction boom a few years ago, back when interest rates were scraping rock bottom. Buying a pre-construction condo felt like a foolproof plan. Investors big and small, rushed into Brampton, snipping up units and banking on the idea that prices would skyrocket by the time the buildings were being finished. The plan was simple: either flip them for a quick buck or rent them out for easy cash flow. Well, fast forward to today, those buildings are finally done and investors are getting the keys in a totally different world. Interest rates have shot up through the roof, making their mortgage payments way higher than they had planned for. And the market value of their shiny new units is now potentially less than what they had agreed to pay. This leaves them staring at two terrible options. Option one, try to sell it by listing it the second they take possession. The problem is they aren't just competing with other resale condos. They are competing with hundreds of other desperate investors in their own building and in the one next door, all trying to bail out at the exact same time. This creates a race to the bottom with everyone undercutting each other to attract one of the very few buyers out there. Option number two, rent it out. But that strategy is failing also. The massive influx of new rental units has completely swamped demand. We are actually seeing data that shows the average asking rent for a one-bedroom in Brampton has been dropping. With so many units available, tenants have all the power and can negotiate better deals. The positive cash flow for those investors were counting on to cover the sky-high mortgages and condo fees is just not there anymore. Many are facing huge monthly losses. This investor exodus is what's fueling the inventory crisis. These aren't your typical sellers moving to a new house. Many are financially underwater and extremely motivated to sell, which just keeps pushing prices down and adds to that feeling of a broken market. Let's talk about the buyer's mindset shift. Why no one wants a condo. The glut of inventory is only half the story. The other half, arguably more important, is what's happening with the Brampton's buyers. Their priorities have completely changed, and for many, traditional condo apartments just don't make sense anymore. In today's high interest rate world, affordability isn't just about the sticker price, it's about the total monthly costs. And that's where condos are losing big time. Here are the top 3 reasons buyers are swiping left on Brampton condos. Reason 1, the crushing weight of the condo fees. Buyers have figured out that the condo fees are basically a second mortgage. You never pay off. It's not crazy to see monthly maintenance fees in Brampton between $700 and over $1,000. In Ontario, the average condo fee is about 86 cents per square feet, and there's no legal cap on how much they can go up. Let's just do the math. An $800 monthly condo fee is $9,600 a year. At a 5% interest rate, paying $800 a month towards a mortgage would support about $160,000 in loan value. Buyers are looking at that fee and realizing it's a pure cost that never finishes, and it doesn't build them a single dime of equity. One user posted about their Brampton condo fee climbing to over $1,070 per month, wondering how that was even possible for a building that wasn't even a 5-star resort. That feeling is everywhere now in Brampton. Buyers would rather put that $800 towards a bigger mortgage on a property they can actually own. Reason number 2, the search for mortgage helper. This is the single biggest shift we are seeing on the ground. People aren't just looking for a place to live. They are looking for an asset that can make them money. The mortgage helper has gone from a clever idea to a must-have for a huge number of Brampton buyers. Instead of a 2-bedroom condo, let's say for $500,000, a smart buyer today is looking at a condo townhouse or even a freehold townhouse for $700,000. Why would they spend more? Because that townhouse might have a basement with a separate entrance that can help them with a rental apartment. That basement unit can bring them $1,500 or more every month. I have seen homes where each room was rented out. The landlords were making $5,000 plus per month. The owner was living in the house for free. Let's compare. With the condos, you have your mortgage payment plus that $800 condo fee. With the townhouse, your mortgage is bigger, but you get to subtract $1,500 in rental income. In many cases, the net monthly cost of owning the more expensive townhouse is actually less than owning the cheaper condo. You get more space, maybe a backyard, and you're building equity on more valuable asset, all while having a lower out-of-pocket cost every month. Brampton buyers are chasing cash flow, and a standard condo offers none. Reason 3, the desire for control and future equity. The final piece of the puzzle is this powerful human desire for control and land ownership. When you buy a freehold property or even a condo townhouse, you own a piece of the land. And historically, land is part of the real estate that appreciates the most over the long haul. With a condo apartment, you own the air inside and your four walls, and you share the rest. This means you have far less control. You have to live by the condo board rules. You can get hit with the sudden massive special assessments for repairs you didn't see coming. You don't have a private backyard for your kids or a driveway to park your cars. In a market full of uncertainty, buyers want security. They want an asset that gives them options. A house with a yard offers a chance to build a garden suite later on. A property with a basement provides income. A condo apartment offers only a balcony. Buyers are making a smart, calculated choice to invest in properties that give them more options, more control, and a bigger piece of the long-term growth. So, what should you do with all this information? The answer is very different depending on which side of the deal you're on. For sellers, it's a brutal market out there. If you have to sell a condo in Brampton right now, you need to accept reality. You are not competing with those prices from 2022. You are competing with a mountain of inventory from other motivated sellers today. That means you have to price your unit aggressively right from the start. It needs to be staged perfectly and look better than anything else available for sale. Be prepared for lowball offers, especially in Brampton, and be ready to negotiate. And most of all, be patient. The data shows this takes time, and hoping for a fast sale and a fantasy price is just a recipe for frustration. For buyers, this is your moment. This weakness in the market is your opportunity. We haven't seen a buyer's market like this in more than a decade. You have the leverage. You have the options. You can negotiate on price, on terms, on everything. My advice, look for the most motivated sellers. They are often the investors in those new completed buildings or in units that have been sitting on the market for a long time. Don't just look at the list price. Do the math on the total cost of ownership, including those killer condo fees. But also think bigger than just the condo apartment. Seriously analyze the cost of a condo townhouse or a freehold property with a basement apartment. Run the numbers and see what a mortgage helper could do for your monthly budget. In this market, for a little bit more on the purchase price, you could end up with a much better asset that actually costs you less each month and sets you up for way more financial success down the road. The Brampton condo market is caught in a perfect storm. A massive oversupply from an investor exodus combined with a huge shift in what buyers actually want. The buyers are now laser focused on their total monthly costs and are choosing assets like townhouses that can help them pay for themselves. Trying to navigate this market is tricky. Whether you are a seller trying to cut your losses or a buyer hunting for an opportunity, headlines and averages don't tell your personal story. What you need is a personalized strategy. If you want to sit down and build a plan that's tailored to your specific situation, to figure out if selling now is the right move or to find the best deals on the buying side, I invite you to book a free, no obligation call with me. The link is in the description below. We can go over the numbers together and find the path that makes the most sense for you. Thank you for watching. If you have found this information helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe for more updates on the latest GTA real estate market, and share this video with anyone you know who's thinking about buying or selling. Until next time, see you soon.